Brand new unit, super rare unit, which is of course why we will never ever have a chance to get this. So the first time I saw this, I saw, wow, this is a great combination with Lucian or other big damage dealers because of the passive that increases the critical damage by 50% if the target has no beneficial effects when an ally's attack lands a critical hit. So that's the only condition for that part. However, he does have a strip. It's not 100% chance to strip, but he does have a strip here if you need it. But a lot of people are using this for the second part of his passive, which I thought was pretty odd actually. So decreases the damage taken by 10% for every beneficial effect granted on the ally when an ally is attacked by the enemy. This attack doesn't stack with other crit damage increase and damage reduction effects. So let's take a look at this. Obviously not on my account, and let's see how he does. Well, there's clearly a free-to-play account on the left. God, jeez. Oh my goodness. Like, which LD5 do you ban? Oh, dear lord. And they actually get outsped too, which is the crazy part. Well, they didn't have a second speed lead, so maybe it's not that crazy. At first glance, it was crazy. And loses anyway. Wait a second. No! Oh my god. This game. This game. Welcome to Summoner's War. Okay, so we got to see both parts of the passive, actually. What a match! What a great first match for the video. So both sides trying to... Okay, Leo counters a few things. I just wasn't expecting a Leo pick. I was expecting like maybe a Sheer or something like that, but the Leo gets banned anyway. So, what do they strip? They don't strip everything. More is RNG. So let's see. The Fire Druid could do some nasty stuff here. Although, remember the damage mitigation with that skill, the passive, the skill 3. So let's see, and the increased crit damage as long as the enemy has no beneficial effects, which is going to be 2 out of 3 of the units on that side of the field. And the heals. Heals part of skill 2. So strip and, well actually, steal beneficial effects. And heal. So this person on the right-hand side had the whole day off and they decided, you know what, why not play a whole day of just one match of RTA? Because that comp has, they have a little bit of damage, but I think they're expecting most of the damage to come from Nora. So, the thing about this guy is, Yoldong, is that he needs buffs to do his damage mitigation. So, I was kind of expecting the Paladins are not bad. Paladins do buffs, right? But I was kind of hoping to see the Josephine in there, maybe. So, and he's got the increased damage for the naked enemies. The enemies without beneficial effects. So, yeah, I think most of that damage is going to come from Nora over the next few turns she gets. Maybe I'm just imagining. Maybe that's just what I want to see. Solid unit though. So we can see when his passive is active or not. Right, so his passive active for a few of the units, the ones that had the buffs, but not for the units that didn't have them. They get the stun? No, no stun. Get the provoke? Do they get a violent proc? They do not. I thought they were going to play it a little differently, but this is the player we saw earlier. Picks the same, I believe that's the same 5 units as well. Jeez. So they don't ban the Asima. She's going to do it. Well, as long as they strip and get the defense breaks, she's going to do a ton of damage. So let's see. They ban the Widget though. Because tier lists, right? And then Asima is just going to nuke. 50% increased damage. Tetra first round. Okay, I was expecting like maybe a Juno. Same player on the left-hand side that we saw a couple matches ago. And a Guild War Leader skill. Because Yuldong has an HP leader skill. It's just for him, but they're getting a lot of value out of this is classic C1 gameplay. They're getting a lot of value out of the Guild War leader skill here. So they're hoping for more stuns than that. Not more stuns, more strips than that. Sorry. And they're going to hope for a lot of activation with Nora, with all of her strips. Nora's a solid unit. Until Josephine comes into the mix, or Vermos. But Nora can be nasty if left unchecked. Strips into dots over and over and over again. So let's see. There's going to be a lot of damage mitigation now, though, on this team, this Yuldong team. Because with all of those buffs, look at his passive activation. And like, oh, they just concede. So player on the right-hand side is probably taking turn 1, although they do need to pick another speed lead otherwise, or Hey Gang. That's just going to force them to maybe not strip skill, turn 1. They have so much immunity they have to. Yeah, but the Hey Gang is going to cut. Hey Gang is so solid. They don't get the Asima though, but they get the strip and they get the violent proc. Huge violent proc. Game-changing violent proc. If it was not for that, this would be over. And you see all the passive activation there. Oh, they're going to get destroyed. Player on the right-hand side is going to get destroyed. LD5 gets banned. Yep. Because otherwise she could keep cutting. Yeah, this is going to be a fast... Although, fast Fran. Look at that. Did you see the attack gauge? The shiny little attack bar. So they had a strategy all lined up. But this looks like it's going to be over pretty quickly. Or maybe I'm just doing what I typically do and calling it way before the end of the match. Let's see the violent proc situation. I feel like the LD5 player is just too far ahead right now. It's going to be very, very hard to come back. And they have so many strong units. Vanessa, Ethna. Oh, and then we see some LDs. All right, what gets banned? Juno? Douglas. Let's see. Capture on the cigar. Invincibility on everyone, but Juno's going to take all of that off in a second. Yep, literally a second. Increase cooldowns. Let's see. They're going to do 50% increased damage on all of these attacks. Since the opponent, the LD5 team is going to do 50% increased damage. As you see the passive activating on Yuldong every time. Because opponent has no buffs. Although the Juno now has her speed buff. It's over. It's already over. Juno's good, but I just don't see her. You think Juno Oliver solos this? I mean, I've seen crazier things. First pick Yuldong. You know, the thing about that, though, is that that's not that bad of a first pick. The Dark one is a terrible first pick because he is a counter to healing. The Light one, though, his passive has two different parts. The first part is it will do increased damage, so you could run an aggressive, speedy damage team, or you could use the second part of his passive, the damage mitigation part, and pivot into a bruiser team if you want to. I actually thought they were going to go for the Dominic first. I thought the opponent was going to snipe out the Dominic first. So, aside from the fact that he doesn't really have... He's got a light leader skill, light HP leader skill, and not great base HP. Sorry, not great base speed. His base HP is fine. His speed, not great. But aside from that, he's actually not that bad of a first pick because you can kind of pivot into two different play styles with him. Dark one, I would not recommend. So. And the comeback now. He's going to have that damage mitigation. Well, the invincibility is damage mitigation in itself, so. Going for everything except for the damage dealer. Although she's on cooldown, so there's not really too much she's going to be able to... Are they autoing? I feel like they're autoing. And I should have noticed this earlier. This is the same person that picked the Guild War Leader skill, isn't it? So you can auto with it, guys. Isn't that what everyone wants to do? Also, 99.9% of you don't have this unit anyway, so... It's kind of... Isn't this an irrelevant video? Now you know what he does. I'm sure you already figured out what he does because he's been in the game for a week now. But, yeah. Aside from that, if you have to fight against him, at least you know what he does. Anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys summon this unit at some point in the next... How long is this game going to last? Another 10 years? In the next 10 years. See you as always in the next one.